rusted souls. You should get it right. You can't control the heart that beats under the bone. Come on, my comeback chameleon, give it up. You've got your life to attend to, buttercup. You're entertaining the talk, and it's told through the teeth of the mouths of the millions dying to meet you. Little do they know. Mississippi River won't kill you unless you stand too close, my dear. Take it to Louisiana, a long, long way from here. War has been a long time coming, yes, a long, long war's gonna come. Standing at the end of a story at the foot of a palindrome. One shot honey collected all the dust inside the rusted souls. You should get it right, 'cause you can't control the heart that beats under the bone. Come on, my comeback chameleon, give it up. You've got your life to attend to, buttercup. You're entertaining the talk that is told through the teeth, the mouths of the millions dying to meet. Yeah, little do they know. Little do they know. The world moves a little slower here in Indiana. That song's called Indiana. It's by Adrianne Lenker. And Adrianne Lenker is a brilliant songwriter, and I feel like that song is some sort of prophetic gift to my soul, because all of the lyrics have some sort of deeper meaning for me. I'm staring at a white stallion that is like an overlay screen printed on the back of somebody's truck. A Sierra GMC. Just feels weird, like I can breathe differently here. I don't really understand it. Like it's okay to be slow here. Like it's okay to be yourself, dear. And all these videos going in a row, it's like growing slow and barely going anywhere at all, but going to the place you love the most of all. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I couldn't keep up with you all. Though I loved you most of all. But did I, or did you love me at all? Or am I the thing you want to run away from? Do you want to run away from me? From what I stand for, from what I believe in, and what you believe in. It's scared and slow, but it holds the world like a bowl. But you wanna be a bolt of light, and I'm sorry I put up a fight to that story you're telling, to those great big lies you're selling, like I'm selling mine too. In the dark, in the light, 'cause the light's inside the dark, like it's in you. Just like the light contains the dark contains the light. And which one's true? Which one's more true? Do you know? Do you? Probably don't. I know what I'm talking about, but historically it really hasn't helped that many people, me explaining myself. In fact, if anything, I think it's kept me from being able to be helpful. I think it's possible that we are meant to dream differently. And as we all dream differently than each other, we're meant to rub off on each other. We're meant to confuse and bewilder each other and make each other wonder if there's some aspects of our own dreams that are slightly wrong. And it's okay. If your natural life causes others to reflect on their natural life as partly wrong, you don't have to change your song so that they can feel okay with themselves. You don't. It's what I've done, or what I've felt called to do. Or not called, it's what I've felt compelled to do. And I think it's been wrong, or at least it's just been a very specific variation of a song. I think even the strangest souls in a system benefit the system if they learn how to be genuine and true to themselves within the system. It really does benefit the system. And I'm talking families, workplaces, relationships, friendships, friend groups, volunteer organizations, pretty much anywhere. Because if you believe in a loving creator, which I do, then you have value in that system. Your value is not just to be on mute. But your value might not be to be the overbearing announcer of all things either, you know. And balance is really, really hard. Anyone who implies that balance is what's natural has never tried to balance very opposite extremes. Balance is not very natural. Picking a team and all saying the same thing is what's natural. Like, we like this color. We like this team. We all like this state. We all like snowboarding. No, I don't know. We all like band. Orchestra sucks, you know. Like, that's what's easy. That's what's a lie. That's the lie. If you really think about it, how many topics in your life do you just feel 100% purely one thing about? Most things are not that. So if life is actually, you know, here's this extreme and here's its opposite, well, it may be an actual opposite. Most people fall on a spectrum all amongst it, or each topic is actually 10 topics and you fall in different places in it. And, you know, how much time do we have to spend to really find the nuances? Well, we don't have time to spend to find the nuances for the whole world. And that's where the arrogance has come from in our culture. I think social media changed everything. You probably can't even learn to balance your own workplace or family system, or even just one relationship, let alone the whole world. So this savior complex that a lot of us have of like, I'm gonna help people. I mean, that's what drew me to do this. And I've had these feelings long before I ever shared anything. I always had feelings of like, I'm meant to help people. My music is meant to help people. But like when I was in elementary school and middle school and I wrote music to help people, those very same people it helped deal with the death of a classmate, deal with the loss of a friend moving away, the very same people who not only claimed it helped them, but who I could tell it genuinely helped them. Whether they said it did or whether you could just tell. Students and adults, teachers, people, it was helpful to have somebody be helpful and reflect lovingly on hard things and help everyone process death and loss and sadness. I felt helpful, and I've always been drawn to returning to that. But the other end of the spectrum was true too, which is that I was also annoying. I was annoying, I think, to my classmates because I was unique and special. And I don't even mean in quotes. I was winning all these statewide songwriting awards from 5th through 7th grade and getting to write the 5th grade graduation song. And, you know, I was standing out. And I think as much as that's helpful, because everything is both things. So it's like as much as it helped, then it either at the exact same time harmed them, or it was a later thing, the way a pendulum swings. Things that have harmed you have probably also helped you, and things that have helped you have probably also harmed you. There's no way out of this conundrum. You can look at any of whatever politics you follow, whatever your views are, you can look at any era that you hated, and then you can immediately think of at least a few good things that came out of it, and then vice versa. You can look at a time in history that you loved, where everything was how you wanted it to be, and then you can see the flaws in that, things that came out of that. Not just bad things that happened at the same time, but literal things that were bad that came from that. You can see families have divided in certain times, and while you maybe were getting your way, other things were fracturing, and that probably wasn't your way. You probably would have preferred it not to fracture. So anyway, I'm just feeling like this horse today, the white one, being roped up by cattle, roped up like cattle, roped up by people in control. Not because of anything anyone's doing to me, not at all. Just feeling like there's not time. And I mean, there's infinite time. I've crafted my life around time, around free time. Like that little white stallion running around roaming free. But there are forces of in this world that don't want me to be that way, that don't see a value in it. And like we should rope them up and force them to do our systems. And it's a feeling. It's not a thing that's happening to me, but it's happening to people just like me all over. Some of my most favorite brilliant artists that I know have had to give into the system more than I think is good for their soul. Because when they were free, they were creating more beauty in this world than actual nature was. I mean, it was profound, mind-bending amounts of beauty in their art. Multiple people I can think of that then, because of growing up and being responsible and all the systems that we're supposed to plug into, that person's light was squashed. I mean, just picture that white stallion just walking down the street with a harness on, giving rides to people versus roaming free. I think it's just more about control. It's just about like, well, who's getting to enjoy it if it's just roaming free? Well, you know who's getting to enjoy it? The horse itself. Hey, leave us alone. Like, yeah, maybe you can't make money off it. Maybe it doesn't fit into capitalism, but you can watch it on the Nature Channel and see its beauty. Like, this is my Nature Channel to you. I mean, this one's just me, but I would hope that all artists would do this if they want to. That they would feel as free as me to be what they are. Like, I started out covering an Adrianne Lenker song, one that always comes to mind when I think about the state, Indiana, and then also it comes to mind because that song changed my life because of the prophetic words in it that are about what I've been through. And then that just flowed right into writing my own song. And like, some people sit around and belabor creativity. Obviously I don't. I'm that white horse. I am running free. If you are the man on the brown horse, using the brown horse, which is creativity in this metaphor perhaps, to rope something else. It's crazy. Creativity is, maybe I'm not the white horse, maybe creativity's the white horse. Like, it just wants to be free. If you're trying to rope it and force it into capitalism, you just might be disappointed in the end, is all I'm saying, because I've done that before. I've even known people who've done it all the way to being on a major label. One of my friends was on the Jaguar label, and there were disappointing aspects to that. No offense to that label. Hopefully it's okay that I'm saying that out loud. It's her story, but there are tragic and traumatic things that happen. even when we follow our capitalistic dreams all the way to the top and we have the backing of a major label. I've known people in this story. I've been blessed to know people in this story. They've played at my house and I've opened for them. I've watched bands fall apart over small things and over big things. I've watched people doubt themselves in ways that there's no reason they should be doubting themselves because they're exuding professionalism, but because of where they've gotten to inside of a major label, it's just like, it's easy to doubt yourself when you are thinking of yourself as a product. But are you actually a product? I'm not a product. I mean, I'm a product of my environment. I love talking about that. Every place I go, every friend I visit, every family member I visit, I get to see, I get to be in different places, and I literally feel different things. Like, how can that be true if I'm inside my van right now? I'm not feeling this land, but I am. How can that be true? How can I be feeling the people right around me right now? I'm in my van. But I talk differently in Indiana, southern Indiana. Is it the people? Do I pick up auras? Do I feel your presence? Do I feel your peace? I think that's it. I mean, think about any person in traffic. I'm just maybe a little more hypersensitive than most. Hyper being a compliment, because I will not put myself down anymore. But I may be a little bit more extremely sensitive than most, like an empath, like a feeler, healer type. But think about yourself. Like, say you don't feel as sensitive as me. But is that really true? Like, imagine you're in traffic in New York City. And now imagine you're in southern Indiana. Although I will say I felt a correlation. I was in a park the other day where Brian was playing disc golf. Oh, so like 5 videos ago. And I felt the same vibes I feel in Brooklyn, New York. And what is that about? Is it land? Is it what's happened in the land? Is it the air? Is it how crisp the air is? How wet the air is? How dry the air is? I think it's all of those things. And it's hard for me to realize that it's all of those things. All these families with their dreams and time unfolding together like a railroad line, like a train on tracks. They dream so differently than me, how to make food for their families. And I know he needs to breathe in ways I've adapted to. And I know I need to breathe in ways he's adapted to. And I feel things here. Didn't mean to feel, but I feel things here. I didn't mean to. No, I sing words here that I didn't want to sing. But it's okay. I'm going and I'm growing through these painful thoughts in my brain, like regret, like a name. curiosity, what do you have that I will never be, never be, never be, never be, never be, never be. My horse is driving away. It was a really cute little family, and they had a kid, and it was a mixed race couple, and they looked happy as pie, as apple pie at a diner. In a way, it just makes me think there's some sort of like curse. It's not commercialism, it's prestige, actually. I think it's ambition. And I think of all the people who are competing in things, competitions, competing for first chair and symphonies, competing for attention, competing for who knows what. But then I went off on this path where there's no competitor for what I'm doing because nobody's doing this. I'm trying to kill the curse, perhaps. I see ambition as a curse. What's the end goal of ambition other than to say, I did it, I'm better than you? Like if you win the international songwriting competition, there was like a John Lennon one. I think you had to pay $30 to submit. So think of all the hundreds of thousands of songwriters paying $30 to submit. And there's like 5 famous judges who probably aren't even famous anymore. I submitted to that like 20 years ago or 15 years ago. And it's like, and would I be talking about failure if I had won those things as an adult too? But something in me is drawn to failure. Failure to me is like the tender places. Oh, book promotion time. It's one of my favorite books. It's actually a graduation speech that she gave, Pema Chodron. It's not because I want to fail. No one wants to fail. We want to feel good. It's like saying, do you want to have to give up the dessert to your friend versus get the dessert for yourself? Like, you don't want to fail. But there's a softness in realizing that you are part of the whole as opposed to the point of light in the sky that everyone's staring at that won the prize. There's a softness. It's like being in a bowl. It's like being the bowl. It's being part of the bowl as opposed to the one scoop of ice cream that won the world, you know? And then the whole rest of the bowl is staring at the scoop of ice cream that won the world, won the prize, won the whatever. And everyone else is the bowl, holding it. And that's true in schools for little kids. You know, there's usually the jock, the star of some team. There's the most popular kid. There's the most this, the most that. I was always first chair flute. So it's like, but see, and I didn't turn around and look at all the other people in second, third, fourth, fifth chair. I didn't feel sorry for them because that would have ruined it. Then I would have felt too guilty to be there. And I didn't feel excessively better than them, like, haha. I just didn't pay attention to them, and I just stayed in my lane. And I think that's the way to do success, because then it's not about the bowl. It's literally just about yourself and your own world. You know, you're just not paying attention, but maybe that's the curse worth lifting, if it's even a curse. But it's like, it does feel more loving to pay attention to what other people's experiences are. And if most people's experience is not first chair, then, you know, it's worth paying attention to that. But they may be getting other wonderful rewards, so maybe we don't need to sit around and feel sorry for people when maybe they don't even want to be first chair. So, anyway, I've talked a lot. I need to go into Target now. Actually, I just got self-conscious because there were more people around all of a sudden. But do you. Don't feel like you have to be ashamed of your successes. That's never what I'm meaning to say. You absolutely don't need to be ashamed of your success. It doesn't help anyone if you're ashamed of your success. That's what I've learned. I took it too far. You can win the statewide songwriting awards, and you can be proud of yourself. And haters gonna hate, And that's okay. And you know what? Lovers aren't going to hate. Some people were proud of me the whole time. But there were some haters, and I put all my focus on them. And haters are just going to hate. So you can win this, someone else can win that, someone else can win that. Some people don't want to win anything and they just don't want the attention. Like, just let it all go and flow and be yourself, and don't listen to me. I'm just rambling on all these different topics, and it's always just a way to try to figure out how I got lost in the rabbit hole. And actually trying to figure things out usually just gets you more tangled, so. There's my message that is not really a message. That's a message telling you not to listen to my message. Maybe I'll just write songs and stop blabbing so much. I like blabbing though, it's kind of fun. Anyway, bye.